Hello, Rubies. Welcome back. I know it's been some time, but I was giving some TLC to some other platforms, and I am looking forward to being very, very consistent now on the YouTube channel. And I've been working on so many projects, and I know many of the Rubies are waiting on the Patreon channel. However, I have updated my description in the YouTube channel where you have access to 2 free products that I literally just relaunched, and then also the updated copies, PDF copies for my books. So let's get into today's episode. I think this is such a very, 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 very interesting point to talk on. And I can actually say that I've encountered many of this particular year, and I heard a pastor talking about it, and I thought that this is something that I would love to bring to this platform. Let's talk about proximity warfare. And I am so intrigued by this because I have personally went through this, Rubies. And most gifted women, we go through proximity warfare because many persons does not understand where favor is. It's sometimes not fair, and a lot of women out there, including men, are jealous when they don't have this type of gift from God, even though they've been given something else. So I want to get into today's episode right away and definitely enlighten you all on what it is that we're going to be working on in the future. So let's get into it. So number 1, what is proximity warfare? So proximity warfare is something that we also use inside military terms. And when I say we use this in military terms as well, this is actually a tactic that they use in the military. And anytime you're going to be thinking about the spiritual realm, you need to think about it from a perspective of that the spiritual realm is very legal. The spiritual realm is very organized. Okay? And how the enemy attacks gifted women is organized as well. And I will be doing an episode where I had a very, very deep conversation, and I wanted to know what the enemy usually does to get gifted women thrown off course. So when it comes to proximity warfare, it's literally when people in your immediate circle drain you, compete with you, or they sabotage you. I have been in a cycle, and I think it was about for 5 years, where I was continuously losing opportunities and I didn't understand why. And proximity warfare is that I can infiltrate you by being your friend. I can infiltrate you by being your friend. And I have went through this where persons only wanted to be connected to myself in life, so they were able to figure out when my next move will come, what will be given to me. And then something literally dropped in my spirit just now. There was a time when I had just started my hotel career where I was starting to grow. And I remembered this lady, even though she was my boss, my spirit really wasn't taking to her. I felt as if she wanted somebody that was much more easier to coerce or manipulate in the position that I was in. So she wanted to remove me completely. And there was another lady that was jealous that this particular woman was giving me attention, even though I know the attention wasn't genuine from this particular boss. And she mentioned something, and she's like, hey, I want to have a conversation with you about your growth. Let's talk about some moves. And the lady heard it. And I did remember something in my spirit said, why is she so hasty to run? And I'm meaning this next lady that was supposed to be my friend. I think she was like, I felt a haste on her spirit to go and talk what she heard. And in a year later, I had a dream. And in this dream, this particular friend pushed me down from behind out of the dark. And I didn't understand what it meant. And at that time, my dreams were very vigilant. This is when I realized that my gifts had become heightened. Now, when I was in school, these gifts were heightened as well, where I was able to see my national exam results in a dream before it happened. And I didn't understand this dream. And then in the dream, I also had a dream a few weeks later where I was in a courtroom. And in this courtroom, there was a court to the front. And then in the back of the courtroom, it was set up where my work office was. And in my work office, as I'm trying to get my tools for work, and I didn't even understand that in the first dream where I was pushed down, that because I didn't pray about it, it actually manifested. I was in this courtroom, and when I came to the back of the courtroom, I was trying to get my things together. And everybody, those who I knew spirit was genuine, they were saying in the dream, take your rest. Take your rest, Ruby. You've worked hard enough. You've proven yourself. It's time to move on. And even though the dream had manifested in a way that I would have eventually lost that job, in the dream, those who were talking to me, there was a comfort. And that's when I really truly believe that all things work out for good for those that love the Lord. And this is why I pay so much attention to my dreams. This is why I'm very vigilant now when I see certain things, and I understand the urgency to pray when certain dreams come to pass. And it's quite scary when you get to see these things firsthand. But little did I know that that particular friend was only posing as an enemy. Little did I know that that was the friend that when I was going through a very tumultuous time in my relationship, that they would sit down and make sport and laugh about it. Because these people see that you're on a pedestal higher than them, and they look at any opportunity to either bring you down or watch you fail. And this was something that, this would drop to my spirit just now. I'm doing this video. And it's because spiritual proximity warfare is real. And when you are a woman that is so gifted, when you have so much in you, the enemy will try his best to always put people around you because he knows you're vigilant of an enemy. But the enemy knows your heart that you won't be vigilant of a friend. Okay? So proximity warfare is not just militant. It is literally when your immediate circle drains you, competes with you, or literally tries to sabotage you. The war you fight when the enemy is close is always in your office, is in your family, in your home, and sometimes in your relationship. I have been in relationships and connections where I see a spirit manifest in those times when somebody couldn't get their way with me. So the first thing that they would attack, and I find this so peculiar, is that when somebody attack you, you ever notice that when you deal with certain people, they know just where to hurt you? They could have picked anything else, but the first thing that they attack you with is what hurts you the most. And there are many times that I've seen a particular spirit of rage or wrath or manipulation or Jezebel manifest in a particular man or woman, and the first thing they would try to attack me on is marriage. So I've had persons, even though I've rebuked it, saying you will never get married, nobody will marry you. And all of the things you could call me ugly, you could call me broke, you could call me everything, but then the first thing you attack is my marriage, the fruition and the blessing of being married. And let me tell you something. You need to be vigilant of the things that the enemy used towards you, because now when people argue with me, I know exactly what the enemy is after. And most of my platform, when I first began my platforms, I still speak on relationships, but I understand that there's a pattern and then there's a curse in the family that has to be broken when it comes to things such as generational curses when it comes to marriage. And now I knew why many of my relationships were so tumultuous, and it was because the enemy knows that it stops with me. So listen to what people say to you when they're angry, because that's the spirit manifesting in them. They're telling you what they're after. So I realized that the enemy wasn't after financial stability. The enemy wasn't after creativity. The enemy wasn't after my mind. For some strange reason, the enemy is after the destiny of marriage within my life and in my bloodline. So it requires me to do more research, okay? So why, as a Ruby, you need to be very vigilant of warfare proximity? It is because ambitious and gifted women often face the most resistance from those nearby. It will never be a stranger. I can tell you some of the deepest wounds I've encountered were not from strangers. It was from people I called friends. It was from people that I called my partner. It was from people that I cared about deeply. And the only thing that is going to save a Ruby from warfare proximity is literally boundaries, discernment, and emotional intelligence. They are your true weapons. So therefore, when somebody comes to attack a Ruby, they break down those three forces. They will try to get you to be not vigilant, because when you're not vigilant, you don't have discernment. They will try to cause you to let down your guard because you have emotional intelligence. And they will literally try to get you to lower your boundaries, because your boundaries is what saves you. Your boundaries actually save your heart, and your boundaries save your mind. Because remember, whatever comes from your heart, that's what you speak. So if I can damage your heart, then I can get you to speak curses over your life. That's what the enemy wanted. So there were times that I would find myself and I would say, what is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. But I have to understand the tactics that the enemy has in order for him to gain control over what he wants in my life. Okay? So I'm going to give you some real life examples, because I know a lot of Rubies are going through this. You will have a co-worker that is copying your luck or undermining your reputation. So they are the people that are always looking for something on you. They're the people that mock everything that you do. They want to look like you. They want to sound like you. They want to dress like you. I've encountered that many times on different jobs. Okay? The next thing, Is a partner literally trying to pressure you or compete with you instead of supporting you? For some strange reason, when I meet an enemy in the form of a man, it would be somebody trying to pressure me, like rush me, because I'm a very patient and calculated person, or it'll be somebody who doesn't want to support me. And that's when I know that particular person is on a assignment from the enemy to take away exactly what it is God wants me to do. So sometimes the most gifted women will have the most horrible stories when it comes to relationships. The next thing that the enemy would use as weapons in your day-to-day life of warfare proximity is friends smiling close to you but secretly hoping that you fail. So as I grew older, I realized that I would have to ask God for discernment when it came to my friendships. I noticed that I would have to ask for spiritual discernment when it comes to my friendships because I wasn't doing very well in that department. Okay? Now, the only way that a Ruby can reframe their mindset when it comes to proximity warfare is to know it is coming. Don't be oblivious to it. Don't ignore it. Don't think that it cannot happen to you. So when it comes to proximity warfare, it's never won with emotional reaction or anger. Anytime a Ruby encounters proximity warfare, it has to be strategy, silence, and detachment. The only way you can deal with proximity warfare is to be silent, to have strategy, and to learn detachment. So therefore, if I encounter a co-worker that's doing proximity warfare, I ignore them. When I encounter a partner that is trying to impose that on me, I literally encourage detachment and walking away rather quickly. So I'm not a person that sits around to see if it's going to get better. I take people for face value. And anytime it comes to any of these situations, whether it's family, lovers, or friends, you always must have strategy when you are dealing with people. And as a Ruby, you have to take away your rose-colored glasses and you have to see life for what it really is. Emotional distance will always be your strongest shield. So you have to become so emotionally regulated when it comes to proximity warfare as a gifted woman. And that is something that's the hardest thing to do because as women, we are literally birthed with emotions in us. We are birthed because as soon as the baby comes up, what the baby does, it cries. It cries. So imagine that the first sign of life is a baby crying. So it's only in nature for you to have so much deep emotions inside of you. And one of the things that always say of a Ruby when it comes to warfare proximity is that you have to move with grace, never chaos. Because the minute that you start to move with chaos, you don't become vigilant and you will lose the battle. So most of the times when spirits come on people that want to practice proximity warfare with you, chaos will always follow. They bring chaos or they like to keep you in chaos. Because chaos allows you not to think clearly. So you miss your mark. You miss what you're supposed to focus on. Okay? You miss the things that you're actually supposed to be partaking in. When it comes to proximity warfare, if you ever feel attacked as a Ruby or dreamed by people closest to you, you need to start to strategize how to get these people from around you. You have to. And the longer that you keep these people around you, the more you delay yourself. The enemy's biggest tactic for a gifted woman is delay. Because the enemy can't take away a promise from you, but he can delay you through your actions to get there. Okay? So sometimes, some fights, you have to look at it and say, I'm not fighting this. But when it comes to proximity warfare, the enemy main tactic on a gifted woman is to sit at your table and eat with you so I can figure out how to poison you. That is it. I want to get invited to your table because I want to figure out how I can get to the chef to poison you. It's the same thing with opportunities. I want to sit at your table so I can see the person who is bringing the opportunities to you so I can go ahead and stop it. I want to sit at your table and eat with you because I want to figure out how much glasses of wine can I give you to get drunk enough to tell me your dreams, your goals, and your ambitions so I can stop it. I want to sit at your table because I want to know what is your favorite meal. So every time I come to you, I can bring that. That's where I'm able to lower down your guard. And I'm speaking metaphorically, but think about situations in life that are literally reality. The warfare proximity is to get into your camp by infiltrating you through kindness. And that's why one of the laws of power say you never appeal to people's sympathy, but you appeal to the people's need for you. And as a Ruby, you have to carry that strategy. Are you around me because you help the program? Are you around me because you push the program further? Or are you around me because you are a leash? The only people that are supposed to be around you that are less capable of are the ones that God called you to help. Nobody else. Nobody should be riding your coattail for free. Because if I can get more people on your coattail, I can get you to move slower. Warfare proximity is all about pretending to be something else so I can get what you have. It's just that simple. Because I couldn't get invited, because this table wasn't prepared for me, I'm going to let you invite me to your table and then I'm going to come after you. That's what warfare proximity is for gifted women. So because I know I couldn't beat you at your game, I'm gonna enter a relationship for you, and I'm gonna hit you where it hurts, and I'm gonna make you insecure. Because I want you to doubt yourself, because I already can't stop you. So what I can do is doubt you. I can make you doubt yourself and then make you start putting the effort forward. Remember, like I said, the enemy cannot take away the meal God has prepared for you, but he can certainly delay you from sitting down and prepping yourself at the table to eat. If you are going through proximity warfare, you need to start praying prayers about monitoring spirits, because that's what they are. They gather information and then they carry it back to the enemies that want to delay you. So think about a monitoring spirit as somebody that is a spy, and it writes down the information that it needs. Then it's going to connect to another spirit and somebody that has like a spirit of jealousy. It will connect to somebody with a spirit of wrath, a spirit of unaliving, right? And it's going to go there and give them the information. It's not going to be strong enough to carry out the attack to harm you. But if they can find somebody with that spirit on them, they give them the information to come and attack you. And that's why you see a lot of gifted women, when they are at the top, they are either harmed by the partner or the friend if they lack discernment. That's how that monitoring spirit works. It gets the information and then it connects itself to somebody that can bring destruction upon your life, because they're operating from a different spirit. Remember, I tell you, everything inside the spiritual realm is legal. And when you recognize this as a ruby, you will stop playing games with your life. Take an audit of everybody in your life in this last quarter, because many of these people don't need to go into 2026 with you. Thank you for coming to another episode on the Ruby or Mindset channel, Rubies. And don't forget to check out those links for those free tools that I have for you. And don't forget to sign up for my Patreon. On Patreon, we will be having more deep conversations where we can ask questions in a nice private environment with people with the same mindset as us. And that's where I will be able to come to you more personally and be able to post videos so you can see where we talk on certain things that you bring forth to me. Bye.